Hello everyone. So in this video, we are going to understand how we can configure our first Lin clone desktop pool. So for this demo, I have already created a video where I have optimized my Windows 10 1903 image for the Lin clone desktop pools. Now in this video, we are going to configure it. For the demo, I'll be using a 7.8 Horizon connection server. And let's start with the demo here. So we'll go to the Horizon Administrator console. In the vCenter, you can see the connection server composer. All of them are already configured. We have instant clone, but nothing associated with linked clone machines at the moment. You can see the image that I am using. This is the one, the 1903 linked clone image, which I've already optimized, shut down, and taken a snapshot of. So we'll go ahead, click add, and we'll create an automated desktop pool for this lab, which will be a floating desktop pool as a floating assignment. We'll be selecting the view composer link clone machines and select the view vCenter server. Now we'll give the pool identification information, which will be used to identify the pool and the machines associated with it, and an access group as well. So let's go ahead and make all those adjustments that you want. You can select the display resolutions, number of monitors you can use, everything is there. So you can select those values. I'll be setting this as default because I don't want to change them. Since it's my lab environment. I'll just give a naming pattern as I want it to be very specific. Link-m. Number of machines will be 3, which I'll be setting up for my lab, and we'll hit next. Here I'll unselect the redirected disposable disk option. I'll select the vSAN because I want to use vSAN, and I'll select the parent VM as 1903 linked clone machine, and this is the image that I will be using. I'll select the snapshot name, which was with the linked snapshot 1, and the VM folder. I'll just set it as default. I don't want anything specific to be there. Uh, in the host and clusters, I'll be selecting the cluster that I want to use to deploy the VDIs. So here I have a Horizon cluster, which you will be using. And make sure that when you go on the vSphere client, you create a resource pool on that cluster, which we will be using here. So that should already be configured there on the vSphere end. So it's taking some time in order to get that information from the vSphere. Let's give it a moment. Okay, we can see the Horizon cluster now. We'll just select and hit OK. We'll have to find the resource pool, which I just mentioned. I have given it a name as Horizon. Now we can go to the data center, select the data store that I have. It's a vSAN data store, which I'll be using. You can use these options if you want to enable the storage accelerator. You can select the option to reuse the already created AD objects. It's always good to reuse those objects instead of creating new ones. And we can use the quick prep scripts as well if you have one. And you can select the top option to entitle user after this visit finishes, so that we can entitle the users who can access those VDIs. So I have a specific group of users created with the name linked user. I'll be selecting all these 3 users and adding it to the group. Along with that, I'll be using my administrator account as well to have access to these linked clone desktop pools. So I'll just select the administrator at the top. Yep, that should be fine. We'll hit close. All right, so once this is done, there will be a folder that will be created, and then the clone object operations will start executing in a moment. So you can see that linked clone pool is created. Currently, it's in a provisioning state as it has not yet created any virtual machines of its own. So we'll go back to the vSphere client and see we'll wait for some time to give the operations to kick in. So this is the first clone operation which I started for the replica. So I will be fast forwarding this video so that we don't have to wait for these operations to complete. So now the disk digest operation has started over that replica. Now the cloning operation has started for all the other replica files and the linked clone machines. So once this will complete, these linked clone machines will power on. And first thing to check is once they are up and online, we'll have to see if it is able to get the proper DNS name and the IP address. Uh, DNS name is the one which we have configured while configuring the pool. So we will give it some time. Currently it's powering on. So you can see the boot operation for the Windows. Still, this will take some time in order to get the IP address and the fully qualified domain name. So let's give it some more time here. All right, now we are on the login window. We'll just refresh it once again because it requires another reboot operation to kick in. So we'll just refresh it and see, we can see all the three computer name objects has been created. Now the machine has again restarted for completing the customization. So it requires a couple of reboots in order to get to a complete state where the Horizon administrator will see this VM as in available for the users to connect. So let's give it some more time and wait for it to come online. In the meantime, on the view web client, we will be seeing the if it's getting a proper IP address or and the DNS name. So let's give it some more time. It's still stuck in customizing. That means it is still doing some operations in the backend. We'll go back to the client, refresh it, and we can see the IP address there. And we'll just wait for some more time for the DNS name to come and show online as well. So it's still customizing. It's uh, going through with their background tasks. So we can see the name is now, we can see the DNS name now for all the linked clone machines with the name which we have mentioned while configuring the desktop pool. So let's give it some more time. Now it's creating a refresh checkpoint. Probably would require one more reboot. We'll just see it there. Yes, so the reconfigure virtual machine has started, and let's wait for some time and wait for the machine to come online this time. All right, let's see the desktop pool now. So we can see all the machines are showing as available now. So if the user will connect, he will be able to get this VDI which we have just created. So for a demo, I'll be running it a Horizon client on my desktop. I'll be connecting to my view connection server, and let's use a linked username which we have assigned. And let's try to log in and see if we are able to see the V desktop pool. We can see the linked machine desktop pool now. So that should be fine. We'll just double click onto it, and it started loading the desktop. So this means that our linked mode operation has worked successfully, and the image that we have optimized earlier is also working fine. So let's wait for the user to log in. This will take some time since the user is logging and there is a logon process which is going on. So, but from now we can see that the operation was successful and we were able to successfully deploy the linked clone pool. And now we can see the desktop. So it's everything is working fine. Thank you for watching this video. Have a great day ahead.